Okay, I don't really know how this is going to work with the video. I've done this once a long time ago. So anyway, okay,
It's all good.
we're talking about space,
We're talking
not
about
outer
our
space.
homes, and our parents' house that we grew up in. No, he had like a crawl space that was similar, where it's just kind of pain in the ass. It's just not a lot you can really do with a space like that, except for just kind of let it sit and like when you got to get down there to do the dirty business, you got to get down there. But
Oh yeah,
that
yeah,
shit sucks. Oh, dude, crawl spaces. I just remember doing projects with my dad and like he's down there. He's like, hold the flashlight. And I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, I can't see because I got the flashlight like going where he's at. And then he's like, I can't see. You got to move over this way. And like, he's got plumber's crack and he's like swearing up a storm, like missing the drill. Like anytime he's got a drill, it's like, like a Phillips head. And he's sitting there and he like can't get the drill bit head into the screw. And he's like, God damn it,
yeah.
son of a bit. And I'm just like sitting there laughing. And then because I'm laughing, I'm like, I laugh out loud, absolutely, but I'm more so of like when I get going, like I just throw my head back. I don't make a lot of noise, so like my hand keeps going. So then the flashlight's going, and my dad's like, "Dude, come on, man,
Yeah.
what's going on here?" It's like, oh,
I think
dude,
there's a
it's a
number one
mess.
rule of thumb though. If you have to go through a crawl space, you've got to have like plumber's crack. I think
Yeah,
you have to
that's
put on the
that's true,
baggiest
man.
jeans that you could possibly get, and then you have to
Oh my
go.
goodness,
That's just one of the rules. No, like
dude, it's
somebody.
not even plumber's crack anymore. It's just straight butt crack. Like how far those pants go, it's like it's not
Yeah,
even just it's not a tease. You're getting the
yeah,
whole nasty business.
the whole thing. If I would have
But that's what we
thought
came here to talk about is
this
butt
is what we're
cracks.
here, crack, and not the fun kind. But like, if I would have thought about it, I would have just turned this sticker a little bit to
Oh,
my
dude.
left, and it would have had the full
Oh, can you not adjust the
three.
actual like turn
No,
the
it's
mic at
like
all?
it'll turn like back and forth, but I
I
can't like
gotcha.
actually spin it.
Dude, I need
Unfortunately.
a new little boom setup too, because like I still got the old look at this. I still got this little gem.
Yeah, man.
Um I got some stuff on my Amazon wish list though. I got a little uh what do you call it that why the hell am I having trouble with it now? Thinking of what the goddamn name of it is. Basically so I can like I'm gonna look it up because now I feel like an idiot. It's like one of those things that's right on the tip of your tongue and you just can't quite think of it.
Describe the item you're referring to.
It's something that like you could plug your guitar into your computer through. Um, if you can't do that just with the regular USB,
Are you talking about
not
like
like
an
a
interface of some kind?
yes
Okay.
interface is totally the word I'm looking for. Thank you.
Cool, man. What kind of interface are you
Um,
looking at?
dude, let's see which one did I have? Your lists. Oh, dude, it would help if I put it in my list. I think I put it in my cart and then just like, okay, here we go. A Focusrite
Oh yeah,
Scarlet Solo.
that's the is that the red one or whatever? I think
Yes.
that's a good interface. I don't have one. But that's always the one that's like the recommended. Like this thing is affordable and it's a tank, so that's awesome,
Yeah.
man.
Dude, well, it's be nice too, because I'm like, as much as I love playing through my amp and stuff, I can't put headphones on and like and rip for certain things. You know what I mean? Like, there's sometimes where you just want to
Yeah,
throw some headphones on, put something in, and then just like go to town. Whereas, like in here and being as close to neighbors as we are and stuff like that, it's like I can't always get like what I'm going for
oh
when I'm
yeah,
trying to jam with something
yeah,
and trying to just get the levels right is just yeah.
yeah. That focus, right?
Bueno.
You should be able to like if you get like an XLR mic,
Yeah.
like if whatever that Samson mic is great. I'm just saying like if you're anything like me, which apparently not, it's probably a good thing. You save a lot of money, but like I just like playing with different mics and stuff like that. So I've got that
Yeah.
Samson, and obviously I use it for a long time. And then I've got a bunch of USB, and then like I'm
Dude, there's
like,
a different Samson one I was looking at that's got the little three pronger. The
yeah, the XLR Samson is
yeah.
you can pre-order them now. They're like $200, but it's basically the Shure SM7B,
Okay.
which is my favorite mic, but it's absolutely not necessary. It's like 400, but Samsung's basically doing the same mic for 200, and you can pre-order it. And like it's an XLR, but I'm like, I don't need to buy that, but I feel like I'm gonna end up doing it at some point just to like see what it
Yeah,
sounds like because they're good mics and they're really affordable. And but yeah,
dude, I was looking
there's
at this condenser mic, this Samson. I think it's a C1. Here, I can share stuff through the chat and stuff, right? Or is that gonna
you
screw
can
you
do
all
like
up?
share screen. I don't know how to do it because I'm new to this, but
Oh, dude, yeah. Oh, you got. Oh, you've disabled my screen sharing abilities.
how do I? Let's see. How do we undo that?
I
Oh yeah, yeah.
like. I don't know if that might be a recording thing too, because we're recording.
Um,
Um,
let's see. Can I make him click? Do you want to change the host to Jordan? I thought maybe. Hold on.
I
I'm
don't know.
trying.
That might stop your recording process there. It's all good. I can send it to you. I'll just we got this little chat button over here. I can send it in the chat. I'll take a little screenshot of it.
Cool.
Boom.
Yeah, that works. There's some options here for like when I click on your screen, but it doesn't have any of that. We'll figure
Interesting.
this out as we go. I don't know how the share screen works, but maybe guests can't. I don't
Interessante.
know. Maybe you have to be the host to do it. I don't really know.
Yeah, and it might be a recording thing too. So I dropped that in the little chat feature there on the side if you want to pop that puppy open. But yeah, I was thinking of revamping my recording setup a little bit, especially with doing Enter the Night and stuff now, and then possibly starting a baseball podcast, which I'm pretty stoked for. So
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's awesome.
um, that would be pretty sweet. So got a lot in the works, man. And then we obviously want to start doing more of this stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Like hang out with the folks a little bit more. It's always nice to hang out with them through the podcast, but sometimes it's nice to just crack a beer, take a shot of Jameson, and shoot shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
You
Yeah. I
know?
mean, there's like the difference between like dynamic, like condenser. I'm not positive, but this is like a hypercardioid is like that's good. That's like what you want. It's like super like for close talking, and it cuts out a lot of
Yeah,
the like a lot of the room noise and stuff. So that's awesome, man. Yeah, $79, dude. Hell yeah, dude.
that's awesome.
Awesome,
I'm
man.
also going to think about some soundproofing as well, because right now I got like a blanket just right on the wall in front of me. If I can get a couple little squares, just
Yeah, man. I'll send you some pictures of some of the things that like I mean on Amazon, if you just do like acoustic padding or whatever, those foam squares come up. They're super cheap and it's varying.
yeah,
So if you just kind of dig around a little bit, you can get like I just bought like
dude,
a pack of like 52 like foam squares for like $20 or something like that. And it was
dude,
like
that's
it's just a
awesome.
matter of there's always changing. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess you might have to catch them on the right day. But anyway,
Do you get do you like egg crate or do you like the straight lines? Or does it not
um
really matter?
honestly, I don't know what the difference is. I bought
Yeah, I'm not
some.
sure either.
I didn't really realize what I was getting, and I got recently like the egg crate ones. They're a little bit more dense. They're like thicker, and so I
Yeah.
put those up in like the corners of the room for like because I'm basically what I'm trying to do with those is because they're not going to block out sound, but they're going to dampen echo, you know.
Yeah,
So
for
it's
sure.
like I put those thicker, denser ones in the corners like together pretty much to try to like cancel out some of the bass of the echo in the room. It seems to do a really good job. And then the other
Nice.
ones are just dampening any kind of sound bouncing off. And I think
Yeah.
I sent you a picture of the party staircase that goes up to the studio
You
with the
did,
light going.
man. That's
That like
awesome.
that's canceled out. Like anytime Roscoe's running around downstairs, I used to be like, God, he's it's just so loud just because it echoes and stuff. That cut out the echo.
Oh,
So it
that's
might as
awesome.
I don't have to like hang the blanket and stuff anymore. So they really do a good job. It's just a matter of like getting a bunch of them and like
Yeah.
kind of realizing where the sound is resonating the most from. But yeah, man, I
Dude, that's
highly
sick.
recommend getting a couple of packs of those and going to town. Plus they
Yeah.
look cool. I don't know. I think they look cool. I'm gonna
Dude, they
be
do. And
trying to set up I want to set up basically a panel that I can like sort of drop behind me instead of
yeah.
blinds.
Yeah,
uh
that's true.
that that like
Would you build like a standing one that you could like maneuver that you would just put in there, or would you want
that's
to
what
put
I
one
want to
that's like
do.
over the window?
Well, I want to build one that I can like hang because there's like a curtain rod. Basically, I want to like
Yeah.
build one that I can just hang from the curtain rod. That's just, but it's
Okay.
still, against here or something. Some kind of way that I can just move it when we're not recording or video or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm always up to some stupid shit like that. I'm like, well, it didn't quite
Crazy.
work out the way I thought it was going to, but you know.
Well, before we get into what we're gonna talk about, what do you got there right next to you in that little stack? You got looks like you got a fat book or a bunch of different issues
Let's
going on.
see. This is my non-show stack. My show stack goes right in front of me here. It's like the stuff I'm going to read first, and then
Nice.
the other one goes here. Let's see, man. I've got Immortal Hulk Flatline. It's like a little one-off series that Marvel's doing for Immortal Hulk.
Specifically, or are they just doing that for all the different for some of the different characters?
Specifically Hulk, like the Immortal Hulk series. So there's like the main series that's written by Al Ewing, and freaking Alex Ross does the art for like the main cover for the entire series, and it's awesome.
That's awesome.
And then so they've been doing these little one-offs. Jeff Lemire did one, and so it's like part of the story, but it's also kind of just a one-shot. It's really cool.
Cool.
Let's see. I got Miles Morales, Spider-Man, King in Black tie-in. King in Black #4, Oblivion Song 30. Been with that one since the beginning. U.S. Agent #3, Daredevil 28, Knock 'em Dead from Aftershock #4.
Nice.
Rorschach #6 for some reason. And American Vampire.
Nice.
#6. I'm actually not caught up on that one. And
dude, I've been catching up on Venom the last couple days. I had to go back from I think Venom 24, and I'm caught up all the way through 31, and I've read King in Black issue 1. But I need to like continue that push because I know that Cates' run on Venom is ending if it hasn't already ended. So, which is crazy because he's been on that since we've started, basically.
Yeah, it wasn't long after we started. That's the first Venom run I actually started picking up. Yeah, that Venom run is really good. The King in Black is really good. What did I say? That was King in Black 4. Yeah. I always forget what issue that is because there's a couple of books that I do get tie-ins for.
Right.
But the King in Black, I've liked the series overall with the tie-ins and everything. At least the ones that I'm getting. So
yeah, I don't think I have all of the tie-ins. I definitely have the Venom tie-ins, but I don't have like the other ones because I know that there was a whole list of them.
Yeah. Again, for like this one, I don't know that it really matters. I haven't at least like Miles Morales is fine. And it ties in, but it's also just kind of it's the same sort of thing where it's like this is happening on the outskirts with the main series. It's gotta read it by itself. I mean, it's fine. It's really good. But the Venom one is more so a part of the story. I would say the Venom. Right. That's kind of the right way to go with it. But yeah, man.
Dude.
And then this Stoker and Wells Order of the Golden Dawn is one that I've got up here for horror comics to review. I've read it a couple of times, but I'm actually I need to read it again because the writer Stephen Peros actually I've been supposed to have him on Horror Comics Podcast for like over a year now, and it's just everything is so behind on that show. It's just I love doing the show. It's just right now not as much of a priority as it has been.
Right.
And it's just
it'll get there, man. It'll be one of those things where like when the time comes, you're gonna like bang out all the stuff to get you caught up and then a little bit more, and then it's gonna be like everything's gonna hit. I feel like that's the way it happens with me. I just get there and then I like boom, something happens and it's like, okay, now we're back, and then we gotta push forward yet again. But
and like
crazy.
It's tough, but like it was cool because he's the writer sent I think it's actually either him or somebody for him reached out to the show and was like, hey, we've got this book coming out. Like, and that was the first like review copy that I got for Horror Comics Podcast. Like officially somebody mailed me a copy of a book as opposed to a PDF. So I was awesome. I mean, I think I even kept like,
oh dude, that's sick.
Yeah. It was like, please enclose, please find your reviewer copy of Stoker and Wells Order of the Golden Dawn by Stephen Peros. Yeah, so that was just kind of like that actual PR move. Yeah, so it was J.C. Vaughn, which I guess is somebody for the publisher. But I have
Dude,
emailed
that's
the
sick.
writer too, like about getting on, and just more so me apologizing, like, sorry, I swear we're gonna do this. So I just,
Yeah,
been rough, but it's a cool book. It's a really
life.
cool book. So
Nice, dude.
yeah,
That's kind of like that reminds me a little bit of, and then I promise we can get into what we're doing. I don't know if I have it here, but there's this book that's been coming out for a while now called The Last God. It's
yeah.
pretty awesome. It's like, what's the best way to describe it? It's kind of like Conan the Barbarian meets magic meets like 300. It's like cool. Yeah, I don't know. I've only read like 6 issues and now there's like 13, so I have some catching up to do,
Is
but
that a
it's
Black
pretty
Label, like a DC Black Label book?
yeah,
Okay, yeah,
yeah,
that's right. Because that one kind of came
it's
out
pretty
under the
awesome.
radar for me. And I think it was one of the ones that like I didn't even see until it had like a couple issues out already. Was like,
Yeah,
okay, actually we were getting review copies for that. I just somehow missed it. It's kind of like that.
right.
What's the other one that's like, it's like 4 letters. It's not like a name. It's like dude, what is it? It's like Jewel, or it's like it's spelled. I don't
Oh, I
know.
think I know what you're talking about.
It's like
Yeah.
an anime book or something. I was like, wait, how are there 4 issues of this? I
I
never saw. I don't remember seeing this. But DC can be kind of weird with some of the review copy stuff and how they put it in the review
Dude,
folder. It's like it'll be like separated out in different sections and stuff, so it's easy to miss some of that stuff. But
yeah. I mean, and we have some digitals too that we can go through, and like that's part of my goal this weekend is to go through and really like kind of download what I can in a sense of organizing all that stuff because it's tough. They don't let you. I probably shouldn't say it on here. It's just not easy to download. We'll put it that way. It's like not readily accessible. But
yeah, sorry, I was trying to get a beer and they all came falling out
no,
of the
it's all
fridge.
good, man. That's the way the
This
mini
was like
fridges
sounds
work,
like Looney Tunes happening in the background. That's
dude.
get it together.
So Zack Snyder's Justice League's coming out in a week.
Dude. It's weird, man. It's so
It is weird, dude. It's one of those things that we talk about like it's a myth, because it totally. I don't know. It just seems like he said in the interview, man. It's like it's the golden. He'd rather be the golden unicorn.
Yeah.
And it is to some degree, but it's like one that we're actually going to get to see. And honestly, man, I think you've read through the storyboards. We won't talk about them in detail because I know that we want to talk with the boys about
Yeah.
all of that together. But like, I don't know what to expect in this movie, man. I have no idea where it's gonna take me. Like, I know there are gonna be certain things that happen, but like, I was rewatching certain parts of just like BVS and Man of Steel, and I'm like, I can't believe we're legitimately getting like another hour, like an hour 10 minutes added on to BVS of Justice League. Like the full length of that movie but it's gonna be all Justice League, which is like, oh, dude, it's so crazy.
I mean, hold on. Nora was like, "Hey, what's going on up there?"
What's up, Nora?
Hey, buddy. Hey,
Dude,
can you talk?
she's awesome. Oh, look at that belly.
Is that? Yeah.
What's up, Nora?
Don't let the beauty fool you. She really sucks in real life. No, it's weird. It's like it's strange. Like I thought I knew what to expect, and I was like, okay. And I'm just the important thing is that like it's coming out, the vision's being restored, and then like we're all excited. They announce it. It's coming out. We don't have a date. They put it out there in May. It's like where it's coming and celebrate and all that. And it's exciting. All the hype is like really getting big, and then stuff starts coming out. Then we start fast forward, to getting the trailer, and we're like,
Dude.
damn, like this is awesome. Like the coloring is all right. We've got the aspect ratio sort of being teased for us, and then you start getting the little to me, the most revealing stuff is in these little character teaser trailers.
Yeah, dude.
Like, then you start seeing this stuff you were seeing things that you didn't necessarily see before, but now you're really seeing some stuff and hearing some stuff that you just really never heard or saw before. And you're like, how do you cut this out? But dude, the thing that was crazy to me was, I think it was in the Dark Side Steppenwolf trailer, where they're dragging the Atlanteans. The parademons are coming out of the water, dragging the Atlanteans. I was just like, oh, dude, whoa, like that's crazy looking. It's like at dusk and they drag them up and throw them to Steppenwolf's feet. And I was just like, this shit looks crazy, man. Like this is
just
wild.
Don't know what we're in for, man. Like, whereas it's funny because it's people talk a lot about, you know, in BVS, like the expectation going into it was going to be like, not that there wasn't a ton of I don't know how people say that movie like lacks any action. There's a ton of action in that movie, but like, I don't know. I do know what people were anticipating, but like, I feel like Justice League is going to have, it's just, we're going to see the characters more so like as they're, you're going to spend a good amount of time with Bruce Wayne, but you're also going to spend a great amount of time with Batman. You're going to spend a good amount of time with Vic Stone, but you're also going to spend a great amount of time with Cyborg. Like, you know, it's going to be, dude, I was rewatching my reaction video today and I'm like, this is just everything that I've ever wanted since I was a kid. And we talked about it in the Justice League review when it came out. Because that movie, take all the stuff away from it. I know it's hard to, especially now with all the stuff that came out, which makes it that much less enjoyable. But like, I had fun coming out of that movie, and I think because it was just a myriad of things, like the hype for BVS was so crazy, dude, and that carried all the way through Justice League. And then when that came out, it was kind of just like, oh, okay, so that's, I think it was just like it's done. I've seen it. And there were cool moments, like love the Green Lantern moment, like love certain aspects of it. And then you really find out like all the stuff that happens, and it's just like, oh God, like gosh darn it. But we all, I mean, to get finally the like basically everything that he in this movie that he wants to tell, he gets to tell it the way he wants to. And the fact that he's had 3 to 4 years to sit on it, so he could be like, you know, if I did this again, like I could probably tweak this a little this way, a little that way. It's like all of that. Their magnum opus, so to speak. Although I feel like he still has so many more movies to make after this and stuff, so many more projects to make. But just nuts to me, man. It's wild. It's like, again, I think I've told you this before. I've told my wife this. I can't like see anything past the 18th right now. I just need to like, when that date comes and I see it, then like life can kind of move on. But we've been championing this for so long that it's like, it's here, and now it's weird that it's here, and it's awesome all at the same time. And we're just kind of in that weird space, man.
Yeah, it's when you're talking about, because you posted which was perfect. I'm glad that you reposted your reaction trailer. And dude, I remember that day like it was yesterday. Like I remember waking up that morning and like watching the trailer, because like we like, took Roscoe to the park. There was a big, some kind of event. I wasn't really paying attention because I just kept watching the trailer on my phone, and it was like bright and sunny. Where I'm sitting outside of the park, and I'm like having to turn my, screen brightness all the way up, and I'm just watching the Comic-Con trailer over and over again. Or actually, it wasn't it was like the first like major trailer, because the Comic-Con trailer was the one with like the White Stripes. The what song did they have for the White Stripes on,
well, I mean, they played it at Comic-Con, but it was like oh dude, I know what you're talking. It's not, it was Icky Thump.
Yeah. So was that the first thing that they like showed, or was it the next year when they showed like the trick? I should have gone back to like piece them together, because now I'm like, well, which one came first? I can't remember. Regardless, it was like it consumed my day. It's like all this has felt like that all over again. And it's just so cool. But like, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's like when Justice League 2017 came out, like, we're like super, focusing on trying to be positive and like I'm gonna like love this movie, and like I did. I had a good time watching it, and the first time I was just like, I know that things are weird, and it's gonna be whatever. And like
Yeah.
that opening shot of like I'm just having to sort of try to ignore it, and then
Yeah.
try to be positive about everything. And it was easy to, because I had a great time watching it. We had our review and we said what we said, and it is what
Well,
it is, and that's fine. I'm not saying that like, no, we didn't really feel that way. Clearly, we did, but
yeah.
it's one of those things too. Like I was thinking about it a lot today because you posted that reaction, and I was like, we went through so much with, we watch BVS. You see so much just vitriol and like uh, just dredging through the internet of like, I just want to enjoy this movie and like talk about it
Yeah.
with people. But the
Yeah.
reviews turns into this echo chamber of people trying to outdo each other with how vile can my review be? What's the most vile thing I can say about this movie? And then you get it
Yeah.
again with Suicide Squad. And it's just like, I just want to have a good time. I just want to enjoy this
Yeah.
thing. And like, I want to just like the movie. So like Justice League is like coming out, and it's just like, yeah, we're taking a hit. Cause it's like, oh God, like there's trouble in paradise, at least for us fans,
Right.
because like Zach's leaving. Oh, but he picked Joss Whedon. So it'll be fine. And the actors are saying they're sticking with the vision because they have to
Well,
contractually
dude, that was
say
the
that.
thing, and I think that's part of the reason why we enjoyed it as much as we say we did, because we were fed like, yeah, I mean, he's stepping away, but everything we're doing, we're bringing in these people are going to follow his vision for what he wanted. So
Mhm.
we like, I am not a seasoned pro or seasoned vet when it comes to film and all that kind of stuff like our founding fathers Tim and Scott are.
Yeah.
Like they know how to pick certain things like apart. I never paid uber close attention to it really for the most part. I never like thought to look into these things and look for hearsay and all that kind of stuff. And so I went into it blindly with the fact that like, hey, like, they said that it's going to be what it is. There were certain parts of it where you're like, that looks like not a Henry like redo. There's certain parts where you're like, okay, so they did use like, yeah, so some of this is him, but some of this is definitely not him.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and so that's where it was weird, and it fell into a weird place. But then I don't think we really understood how epic it was going to be until the stuff started coming out. And then when little
Yeah.
stuff started coming out here and there, we were like, oh, this was supposed to be like bananas.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, it's freaking
Yeah.
bananas, man.
Like the
Like,
Lord of the Rings comparison is starting to come
dude.
back up again. That was happening like I guess a couple years ago, like, or maybe when uh I can't remember when that first started coming up. Like this is like Lord of the Rings style epic, and it's coming up again now that people are starting to see it.
Yeah.
Certain people who are like basically supposedly not supposed to say that they saw it, but they're being shown it in the IMAX, I guess, by Zach. So they're like, I just saw a movie that rhymes with Schmack Schmider as whatever, and like, holy shit, like this is crazy. Um, so in a lot of people, like Zach Penn was one of them that he
Yeah.
like wrote some of the X-Men stuff, and he writes movies and stuff, and he was like, I got to see it and like, oh my God. It's like, this is crazy. So in so many words, but like,
Yeah.
it's just crazy that it's happening now. And like, and I was saying all that about like the kind of the tailing off of BBS too, to just to say like, obviously we wanted to like it so much, even if we knew that like certain things were very obviously not Snyder-esque. Like I even
Yeah.
like sometimes cringe because I think about how I was just like rolling with some of the jokes. Like we're just going with some of the jokes and like the humor that they were adding in that's clearly not, that doesn't fit. And I'm like,
Right.
even like within the last like couple of years with my son wanting to watch it, like just cringing at some of the humor and stuff in there. And again, when you learn more about the ins and outs of what had happened, it all becomes a little bit harder to watch. And then at this point,
Yeah.
I'm like, a lot of people are doing rewatches of Joss Whedon's version, and I'm just like, I'm not even going to do that. I've seen it enough times. I've been,
Yeah.
I saw it in
Yeah.
the theater multiple times, and like, And then even since, so I'm like, I'm not going to do that again.
Yeah,
I know what it is. And I'd rather just enjoy this and go into it fresh. Like it's a, new movie. But anyway,
dude.
it's one of those things that I'm not trying to like explain away
No,
our
you're
original
fine.
review, but it's just more of like
Giving it
reminiscing over
context.
the
Like,
difference. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think it all like looking back on it, we didn't have the same hindsight that we do now.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, let's face it, the industry wasn't quite that. It was a little open in certain regards, but it wasn't as like. I mean, people were scooping stuff for sure, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It
And
wasn't as crazy as it is now. Like where
yeah.
now it's everything is like bam. And maybe it's because I've entered the echo chamber and it was always there, but like now that I'm in it, it's like, you
Yeah.
know,
Also, I'm gonna real quick on your name, I'm gonna add
dude, go for it.
your handle
Oh, I appreciate it.
right
Thank you.
there. Make sure that's gonna stick. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and so
can I adjust my name?
yeah. I think if you just right click
Like,
on your screen, a little thing will pop up, like on your side of the thing.
oh, rename. Here we go. Booyah.
We're all in this together, folks. We're just,
What year is it?
doing this together. And there's people too that like I follow and like get a lot of information from now that are closely connected that like Scott and Tim know,
Yeah.
like Dave Film Junkie, Stephen Colbert, and people in
Right.
that, circle that like I didn't know at the time. I wasn't aware of at the
Yeah.
time, but
Same.
they seem to be in, a little bit closer to this situation than anybody. So it's like one of those things where had I been, listening to those guys and known who they were, I probably, maybe would have realized a little bit more of what they seem to be in tune with.
Yeah.
And not just them, obviously, but those are the people that really like when I started coming across them and digging into what they were saying and kind of like looking around. I'm like, actually, this makes a lot of sense. Like, I think I want to say it was Garza and Ben Everett's. Is it Real in Motion?
Yeah.
Is there? I want to say their podcast was one of the first things that like they did an episode on like theorizing what went on.
Dude, I remember
with
I listened to it and I was like, dude, you have to listen to this. You have to listen to
You
this.
sent it to me, and I
And
think
it was crazy.
it was
It
like
was scary accurate. Like,
yeah, it was like
about it.
and this was like not long after it was like, Matt Reeves is coming in and everybody was pretty much positive, Ben Affleck was not coming back for that movie. This has been a while now. Okay.
Yeah.
and I was like, okay. Like this. Yeah. I mean, who knows? Turns out a lot of this stuff is pretty accurate and who knows, but like, that was a big part of like sort of changing the way like seeing okay, how does this also affect something like Zack Snyder's Justice League? So anyway, we don't have to keep dwelling on that. I'm just like I'm trying to get it like sort of my mindset on the whole thing leading up to it. So basically the point is new information changes the way that you feel about certain things sometimes. And yeah, so perspective. But yeah, so either way, we are like we're so close to this movie, man. It's just bizarre.
Yeah, it really is. And it's like bizarre to think. Yeah, and I think part of the reason I can't look past the 18th is because what are the ripples that this has? Like, it's huge right now. It's crazy, man. Like, my Lizzie today was in a work meeting and she was talking to her friend. She's like, hey, or talking to her colleagues. She's like, yeah, Jordan has like the 18th and the 19th off, so he could just be in all his glory as he sits down and envelops Zack Snyder's Justice League. And so she was talking to them a little bit about like a mother box and stuff, and it was funny because I was like, oh, I'm so proud of you. Like, I yelled it from here and like all her colleagues and stuff heard, but it was just, it's one of those things where it's in the mainstream, and it's just, it's wild to think that that's where it is when for so long people felt like it wasn't a thing. And then honestly, man, it was November, like they said, November 17th, or was it? Yeah, November 17th, 2019. Boom, dude. Just like the lead up to that, if you were like really on, like if you started picking up steam earlier than that, you knew that day was like coming. But when it came, I don't think anybody expected it to blow up as big as it did, dude, as quickly as it did. I remember being at work being like, all right, we're at 2,000. And it's like, dude, that's pretty sick. Okay. An hour and a half later, we're at 35,000. Like, oh my goodness. An hour later, we're at 250,000. You're like, what is going on?
Dude, it was crazy, man. And now it's like, and especially leading up to it, like, it's just never not trending on like social media. Like whether it's whether it's the different characters for the trailers, or Zack Snyder's Justice League, or Snyder Cut, or now it's Restore the Snyder Cut, Snyderverse.
Yeah,
it's like the big thing, and it's just like,
yeah, and there's so many movies now.
Be so like, it doesn't make any sense for them to not like at least already before the movie comes out. They're like, all right, so how are we going to do number 2 and 3? Okay, here's the thing: we can pull this show, do that. We can do all this money from over here. We're going to put it together. Like Warner Brothers, it would be in their best interest to, first of all, apologize to Ray Fisher and everybody involved in that investigation and everything that happened on the Justice League reshoots, but also to be like, just take the loss and like be the bigger, bigger,
take the L at
person,
this point.
Not the bigger, you know what I mean? Just take the L and say, hey, that was a big mess up, but here's the thing: we want to make it right. We fully support this,
dude. Like part of the issue is exactly that. You're totally right. Like people just want accountability. Like at the end of the day, and when you don't take accountability for something you clearly fucked up, like that's a hard, and like taking accountability is hard. I don't want to sit here and say it's not. For some people, it's extremely difficult. It's kind of like communication, like some people are great at communication, other people aren't necessarily great. But like when you fuck up, just own up to it, because it makes, again, you're accountable. People can say, hey, you know what? Like at least he owned up to it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it sucks, but you know what? He owned up to it. And if you apologize afterwards, say, you know what, we did, like, clearly we messed up. Things have been, we want to make things right moving forward, and we want to enjoy this experience. Like, why wouldn't you want that? And I understand, like, but the other part of it is like, a lot of what they did, it was just ruthless, man, and just not even like of being a good human, like to essentially take advantage of continuing, like, knowing what happened in his family and his personal situation, and then to continue to push the man, like, hey, yeah, we're gonna do this. We have to have it out here. You got to make it 2 hours. Okay, it's got to be, you got to cut this. You got to cut that. It's like, I do not blame him for walking away. Like, I'm so glad he did at the time for him and his family, and him and Deborah, I should say. I don't want to exclude Deborah, and rest in peace, Autumn. But it's to think about like how fucked up of a situation that was, and that they didn't do anything but just continue to just like dude, they put his name on the movie, on the 2017 movie. That's 75% not his to 80% not his. That's crazy, man. Crazy. I get that. It's just like thinking about it now makes me furious. And it's like, yeah, I understand. Like, we would want WB to acknowledge. I understand why they don't, because it's so fucked up that like you don't want that sort of thing. But like, just do it. Especially if you have new people there. Like, start a new relationship. Why wouldn't you want to do that? If the Snyders don't want to do it, I don't blame them one bit.
Yeah.
But if they're on board and like they want that relationship, like, by all means. But also, now that I think about it, like, fuck, man, I would love to see this on a big screen. But part of me is like, I will go out and buy a freaking 80-inch TV if I have to. And like, I would rather him, if he's happier, like, and has more creative control at, say, at HBO Max, to do a more longer form storytelling. But go for it. Like, I would much prefer that than and him be happy at the end of the day than him to continue to have to put up with like shit and just for the sake of getting it out and on a larger screen. Like
Yeah.
I love the movie going experience, don't get me wrong, but like I also, and I will admit, not as much as some people like a Scott, like a Ray, or like, who's the guy that reviews some movies on YouTube with the long black hair? I think his name is like Jeremy Johns or something like that. Um, yeah, or like I'm just not. I like movies, but I'm not. What do they call like a film addict? I'm not. Like
Yeah, yeah,
where that's
I
what
got
I
you.
do in my spare time is I just constantly watch films. But all that is to say, to wrap that sort of thing up, is like it would be I agree with you. It would be best for them to just move on and just let's apologize, do what you have to do,
Hmm.
move on. You're going to put yourself in the best position moving forward. You're going to possibly, you dude, they lost themselves a lot of money by doing that. Is such a bad idea. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's
dude,
crazy
you
to me to
think
think to look at what's happening now. Look at the hype as I pour my little tiny little shot glass of Jameson. Um, to look at the hype of what's happening right now and say, you know what, this is a cul-de-sac. It is not going anywhere, and we don't
dude,
want it to. It's just this is it. This is the end of the line, and also like
it's just
we're
ignorant.
gonna continue to fuck with the movie. We're gonna leak things here and there. We're gonna we're gonna try to like sabotage this thing. Like, as opposed to being like, that's how you know when you're a position of power and like money and stuff, that money doesn't matter. Because people are like, well, they don't want to make money. Because that's my thought process too. I'm like, they don't want to make
Right.
money. Well, I need money. They don't need money. They got
That's a good
money.
point. It's a good
They don't
point.
give a shit about money. They want it's like their egos at that point. This is my opinion,
Yeah.
obviously. But it's their
No,
egos at that
absolutely.
point that are going to take the hit, not their wallet. They could put out another movie. Now, granted, at this point, not anything that they've ever done. Kind of like Zack Snyder, I think, said it best, or maybe it was Debbie. I don't know, but like talking about the analytics of like, well, if you think that this is just a couple of people, well, then you should hire them because for free, this couple of
Yes.
people have done more marketing and made it a bigger impact on social media with this movie than you've ever done for anything ever. So
Yeah,
maybe
dude.
they should give them a job because they're clearly good at it. Like it's it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, that's a really good point because so again, it's like, why would you not want this to be successful? You're still part of the company that's putting this out. Unless there's something behind the scenes that we don't know that's detrimental to Warner Brothers, other than people be like, holy shit, you didn't want this movie to come out. What's wrong with you guys? Now, a lot of those people are gone, and some of them are not, but it's a little bit different. But still, so why push back? Why push
Yeah,
back
and you're
against
gonna
it?
take
That's
the
what's
L
crazy
on
to
this
me.
anyway. You're like you've already taken a huge one anyway by the fact that this is happening. Like, so when it happened, why? And they're so petty about it, dude. Like you'll see like a Warner Brothers television segment retweet something about Zack Snyder's Justice League, but you don't see anything from Warner Brothers Pictures. It's so frustrating because you're just like, get over yourself. Get the fuck over yourself. It's so annoying, man. You're like, why can't we all be adults? Like I understand needing to like rage against the machine sometimes, but like you don't you don't win in any scenario. Like as the anonymous executive said, they had to know it was a piece of shit. I mean, like, isn't it hasn't it been reported they were working on that movie up to about a week or two before its release? Like before they finally like
I remember reading
whatever final
something about
touches on
that.
it.
And
And
I
like
don't
it's
remember what it
just
was
like,
exactly, but it was something like that. Yeah.
and I mean, we all know that them wanting to collect their bonuses is egregious because it's obviously
Yeah.
millions of dollars, but it still is just it's so crazy on so many levels. So like, I don't even know where we were really headed down this road with this, but it's like I am happy for the man that he's ultimately getting at the end of the day everything that he wants to do and then some, and the fact that like the narrative around his name has changed a little bit, and that's a good thing. I don't know
Yep.
why he's so divisive with people. He's such a good human, and I understand that like going into a movie we have expectations, but people need to really learn how to watch the movie and take it for what it is as opposed to watching a movie with what they expect it to be. We talk about it with comics all the time. When we expect something from a story and you read it and it's different than what you're expecting, you're a little like let down is not the right word. You're just surprised, I think. You're kind of like, whoa, did not see that going there. But then you take a moment, you think about it, and you're like, let me, you know, let me go back and see what that was actually about and revisit it and see
Mhm.
if I like it or if I don't like it. Cause that's usually the time, the second or third. And dude, it was weird with the theatrical cut. Like I walked out, I was like, I don't know what to think about that. So like when I came back to Pittsburgh, I went home and saw it with some cousins and stuff, and then came home to Pittsburgh and sorry, there's like a fire truck spraying a bunch of got a big ass fire hose going on right now out in the parking lot. It's all empty. It's rainy, so it's weird. Don't know why that's happening.
Oh,
Um, but no,
that's
it was
okay.
weird. So like when I came back and I watched it the second time, I'm just like, I like this movie. What's missing? Sure enough, a couple days later, there's 30 additional minutes that were cut
Mhm.
that is going to be released in um in an extended version in July or August at the time. And I was like, okay, like I will take it for what it is. And then when that came out, I got home from work. I had already pre-ordered it, got home, opened up my laptop. I'm sitting there after the Africa scene. I'm like, you have to be kidding me. What are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like, whoa, dude, that's you just cut out so much of Superman's story. Like,
Yeah. That's
no
another
wonder
good
why.
that's a good example, man. That's a really good example because that was even it wasn't like with Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition, it wasn't like it was just they took scenes out. It was like the flow of the movie was completely different. Things were
Yeah,
changed completely to make it fit the 2.5 hour runtime or whatever it was that it ended up being for the theaters. But the actual version of the movie was like it it's not a different movie the way that I think
yeah.
that Justice League will be, but it is
Do you think
it
it
flows
breaks a
differently.
billion?
What's that?
Do you think it breaks the Ultimate Edition breaks a billion if they release that in theaters? I don't know that it does, if I'm
Originally?
being honest. Yeah. And the only reason I say that is because it would have been rated R. Um, and also, like, people get turned off when they hear long run times sometimes. And I don't know if it's because I grew up in theater. And so I just, like, I'm expected when the show ends, the show ends.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter the duration. Like, if you're along for the ride, when the story ends, the
Like
story
if
ends. And so, I don't
yeah,
know.
I'm with you. If you I'm like if I want to go see a Batman Superman movie, why the fuck do I care how long it is? You know what I mean? If
Yeah,
I'm
right?
interested, if you're a person that's interested in that story, why do you care how long it is? It's like
Yeah,
Endgame. It's like the Endgame thing was like, oh, it's gonna be 3 hours, but the narrative around that is positive. It's like, oh my gosh, like this is gonna be crazy. Like, it's whoa, it's so long, and it's like, but it's said in like a positive way. And hey,
right.
again, I'm interested in the story. So yeah, give me all that 3.5 or whatever hours. That same way for BVS. I'm like, make it longer. Can you make it fucking
Right.
longer? BVS,
Right,
please give
dude.
me the assembly cut. But like, it's just one of those things. When you see people complaining about the runtime, it's like you're just trying to get attention. You're trying to get clicks. You don't care about the story. You may have never watched the movies. Some of these things must apply because it's like if you're interested in these characters in the movies themselves, what is your reason for complaining about runtime? As far as like too long, I can understand too short. Sure. Why would you complain about it being too long? Going in at least. Now, maybe if you walk out of the movie and you didn't like it, whatever, but I can't help you there. But like before you see it, like
Yeah.
people were praising Endgame, but then they're talking about Snyder Cut being 4 hours. And like, if you need 4 hours to tell your story, you're not doing it right. I don't know why I made the person sound like Alex Jones, but like the still is like the globalists are making movies 4 hours long. But like I don't know why, but it's just like why complain about that? Like you clearly are just trying to get attention. I even tweeted about it today. I was like, what's maybe not, and it's hard. I get it. I do it too, but it's just like at least today, like stop giving the trolls the views and the stats that they're trying to get. I think I accidentally
Yeah.
mistyped it as states, but I meant stats. And it's like, let's just focus on the win. We won. Like, we're getting the movie that we asked for, and we're probably gonna get more if they restore the Snyderverse. And it's just kind of like, let's just stop, because like every day some like Scott Mendelson type or somebody posts something like, I don't know why the Snyder Cult attacks me, blah blah blah. Good. All I did was shit all over the guy and shit all over the fans. And it's like, but they say that knowing they're gonna get fans, because that's exactly what happens. The fans show up in their comments. But if we didn't give them the attention, they would stop. They would stop if we stopped giving the attention. But but they know that they're going to get the attention because they're asking for an adverse reaction, because they're shitting all over somebody that you love. So,
yeah,
chicken or the egg, Jordan? Is it the chicken or the egg? I don't know.
Dude. It's frustrating because I feel like this is on many platforms and many things that we talk about, and especially like in our world of comics and also in our world of this all crosses over to one another, and it still even applies in like everyday things. Like when you hear people talking about stuff for a majority of the time, they're like, oh, this part was like not my best. Like I didn't like this. I didn't like this. I didn't like this. And you're like, tell me what you like. I want to hear about what you like. Why do you like it? Like, tell me more about this thing. Like, why do you like whittling? I don't know, because I can make stuff with my hands and it's cool. Like I can turn a block of wood into a turtle. You know what I mean? Like that's cool as shit. So tell me why you like I would much rather hear why you like that than why you don't like when it rains outside. I don't want to hear about like just tell me something you like and tell me why you enjoy it. And I mean, and it's more like a life. It's just more of a life thing, because when you continue to when you talk constantly in a negative, man, when all your life points towards negativity, that's the road you're headed down. Yeah. You need to like actively try. And it's a tough thing for people to do. Like, especially when you've developed a habit of that's all you do. That's why I don't give those kinds of people a lot of attention on Twitter and stuff like that, because it's just not like, I don't want to bog my day down with that stuff. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that I don't text Chris and be like, "Do you see what those motherfuckers said on Twitter? Like, what the hell, man? Like, do you feel this way too, or what's going on?" Like,
well, that's better. That's better. Like, we're talking about it behind the scenes. We're not giving them the attention. They're not going to see the numbers like, oh, well, 15,000 people saw my tweet, so I'm happy. My ego is happy today.
Well, right. And I mean, we ultimately wind up back to where we are, but it still is just like, I just don't understand. I don't understand that. If I don't like a book, man, like I'm not gonna go online and be like, this book sucks, don't read it. Like the only time I've ever done that was Tom King's Batman, issue number 7. Was it 75? I think issue number 75. Very prominent number if I remember. Yeah, it was just like, and that's honestly, ask Chris. It's not like I wanted to talk Tom King's Batman at that point, but we did it because we had a responsibility to our listeners to try, and we're 75 issues in. We made it
that far. Oh my God, we're getting
there's 25 issues left, and then at that point we knew that there were 10. So it was like, let's just keep this moving and let's see what he's got in the rest of this. And it's just like, it didn't work for me.
Yeah.
And that's the only time, because we had to talk about it, is when I like mentioned it. And also, I'm going to be honest. And if I don't enjoy something, I don't enjoy it. But again, at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit there and berate somebody for enjoying something. Like, that's why people ask me all the time, man. I'm a diehard Yankees fan. Like, I love baseball. Do I love the Red Sox? No, I don't. But do I hate people who love the Red Sox? I don't, because like, it just, I get it. I get why you like that thing, because I like something similar, but mine's just a little different, Like I get why you like it, and I'm happy that you like it, and I'm happy that we can sort of, play coy with one another, so long as it doesn't go before that. Because like I like a little playful banter back and forth, but I hate shit talking, man. I don't know why. I never have liked it ever. I'm not one to do it, and so it's just like, yeah, I'm a big believer in just good energy, man. Like good energy, and just keep trying to put forth what you can. Energy is a big thing. You envelop yourself in a lot of negative energy, you're going to tend to trend that direction. You envelop yourself with a lot of positive energy, you're generally going to tend to trend in that direction. So
Yep.
Wild, man. I'm just happy. This whole thing is crazy. I'm happy we're getting it. I can't wait to watch it. Would I love to be there for the red carpet premiere, virtual red carpet premiere? Absolutely. Am I going to be enjoying it 3 days later in my man cave with my coffee and all the snacks I can imagine and muffins and whatever it is? I'm going to have a full English breakfast. Dude,
There you go.
I might put a little coffee machine right where this lamp is and just have that set up.
Get yourself a Keurig. Nice. Get a Keurig and get the Death Wish coffee Keurig cups. The Death Wish coffee is like the highest.
I have Death Wish coffee.
Yeah, dude.
I have it.
Yeah.
I have that, and I have Valhalla Java too. So like, I love them both. Got those both right there. We have the Keurig downstairs, but I also have one that we recently got from my in-laws that I brought to work for when we go back to work. It's only like a single cup thing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bring that home and just like, I'll go into work tomorrow, bring it home, have it for the Justice League premiere. It's gonna be incredible.
We don't have the Keurig, but we've got like a regular. We used to, but it broke, and so we it did this thing where it didn't. You could fill it up with a bunch of water, and then it could make a single cup. But it got to the point where it didn't stop pouring the coffee, so you'd come back in the room and it'd just be pouring, all over the floor. So we had to get rid of it. But we've got a regular coffee maker, and we've got a French press. We have a cold brew. Cold brew is supposed to be stronger because you do it the night before. I'm gonna do a cold brew of Death Wish, and I might have to do like a French press of Death Wish as well. When I wake, it's just something I'm gonna go ahead and get the cold brew, chug it while the French press is going with the rest of the Death Wish. So I'm just gonna be calm. Yeah. I might die, but as long as I can make it to the 4 hours to the movie, that's fine. But that's my plan. But I can't get a gauge on what time this movie comes out. So like I keep seeing it's like, well, according to this timer, it's gonna be 9 a.m. Central, but then I keep seeing like it's actually gonna be 3 a.m. Eastern,
2 a.m.
And I'm like, well, so do we have any kind of definitive time?
It's either those two dates, 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 18th, because Zach said in the interview with Grace, but he said don't quote him. Okay. Or it was on Dave the Film Junkie's vodka stream. He said 12 p.m. Central, or not 12 p.m. Pacific.
Okay, so that would
12.
be...
I'm sorry, 12 a.m. Pacific time.
So that would be 2 a.m. my time.
And 3 a.m. my time. And if that's the case, dude, I'm in bed usually pretty early anyway. Like I'll wake up at 5:30, 6, go make my cup of coffee, start my morning. Like
I'm waking up at 1:50, and I'm getting that cold brew out. I'm putting
I don't blame you.
I'm boiling the water. I'm getting the French press ready because I ain't stopping. But I'm probably also gonna have a bottle of tequila on hand as well.
Right.
Because I like to party, and especially when it comes to celebrating Justice League. That's my plan. We'll see what happens. Yeah. I even told Ansley already. I was like, I'm just letting you know, I'm probably going to be taking a melatonin about 7:30.
Right.
If you wake up the next morning and our TV in the living room, that's the biggest TV that we have.
It's gone.
I'm like, if that's gone, don't be startled. It's upstairs. I promise you. Like,
that's funny.
That's what I'm doing. I'm watching it, and then probably going back to bed, unless I'm just too jazzed and might have to just watch it again.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Dude.
We'll see what happens.
Or might have to do a commentary. I don't know. We might have to see what's going on.
Real
quick, can you keep the folks entertained while I run to the John, and then we can wrap up whatever conversation we got going on? Because I'm gonna pee my pants if I don't.
I can absolutely keep the folks entertained. Where's my
flute?
Sir. Let's see. Yaz flute. No. Hey, Nora, come here. Come here. Jordan's on a pee break. We got to keep the folks entertained. Think about Zack Snyder's Justice League, huh? Huh? No comment? She's more of a Joss Whedon fan. Yeah. What do you think about Toby Emmerich? No comment, but she did say yes to Joss Whedon, so we don't like Nora, do we? She's the enemy. Sorry, Nora was just telling the fine folks how much she liked Joss Whedon because she's the enemy.
Okay.
So I was like, well, are you excited for Justice League? And she literally just said, no, I prefer the Whedon version. So
okay.
Hey,
To each their own, I guess.
She's banned, but
Yeah.
kids.
No more. No more Nora.
She's a bad guy.
No, dude, this has been a lot of fun, man. I think we should try to do this a little more often.
Yeah, man, I'm down. Get the YouTube channel rocking.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, I think we're also going to be, if this happens to release before, we're going to try to get together with the guys, and we're going to try and do a roundtable discussion of Zack Snyder's Justice League, and also those whiteboards, those storyboards that were released. We're going to talk a little bit about that as well.
We had new developments on those today. And not really developments, just Jim Lee weighed in
Tweeted
on Twitter,
about it.
so we'll talk about that too. So it's just an ever evolving story. So
dude, the news just keeps on coming, but it's crazy,
every
man.
day, dude. Something. I mean, and that's strategic. Obviously, they're trying to hype the movie up, and they're doing a great job because it's every day just some crazy shit comes out, and you're like, yeah, okay, all right, I'm in.
Yeah, exactly. Sweating. So. No, we're gonna try to do this a little more often. I'm gonna try and do some new comic book day videos. And just if we could, we're gonna try and do this, I think, before or after we get done with the pod, because we usually shoot the shit for like 30 to 40 minutes before we start anyway. Yeah. So, just to warm up and all that jazz. So, dude, it's been like I said, a lot of fun. I feel like there's still so much left to talk about, but I also don't want to divulge too much until we get in the roundtable, which might be like 3 hours long now that I'm thinking about it. Like,
I mean, if it's anything like anytime we try to do like the comic book movie reviews for Patreon, like the conversation before we start recording is usually a good hour, and then we talk the thing, and then there's talk after. So if we were to
we just gotta hit record
when we get on, we'll have a good 4 hour. It'll be the length of the movie. So so I'm excited.
Awesome.
But yeah, I'm ready to get this thing rolling, dude, and we can talk about figuring out how to get the just the regular podcast show on this medium as well, and try to get some graphics and stuff. But obviously that takes other people's talents other than mine, so we got to get them on board and willing to do it. So for free, $95.
We're working on it there, ladies and gents. That's for sure. That's something that dude. All right, I need your opinion before I go. So I can't like tilt you guys up far enough because I'm on an iMac, but I have this shelf over here. Oh boy, I just knocked my phone over. I have the shelf. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Can you see Deathstroke over there?
Yeah,
so
I see him
back
there.
Villain. This is my little villain shelf, aside from Spider-Man, who's chilling up there. So we got Batman Who Laughs. He's right here.
Okay, he's out of the frame a little bit, but I can see the bottom part of it.
Okay, so I might just display him here real quick.
There you go.
Batman Who Laughs.
All right.
Right. So right next to him we have good old Jonathan Crane, Scarecrow.
Dude, that's killer, awesome. Man. That's fucking killer.
Almost fell out of my chair. We have Selena Kyle, Catwoman from Batman Returns. Just gorgeous.
That's gnarly.
Awesome. You guys all know what Spider-Man looks like, but I'll show him anyway. Here he is. Good old Peter
is that
Parker.
Part of like the is it Diamond Gallery?
Diamond Select.
Yeah. Diamond Select. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then we have this fucking awesome Deathstroke. Joe Manganiello's Deathstroke.
Yeah.
Pretty stoked for. He's got like a scythe over here, which is sick.
That's gnarly, dude.
That's from. But
love it.
My comic shop, good old Dan at Southside Comics, has a dark side. Oh, ooh. Dude, and it's. I was debating one day. It was between Thor, Darkseid, and Thanos, and I was like, "What's my order total?" And he told me the total, and I was like, "Oh, I can't get this." Like, I'm already spending too much on my pull list. Like, yeah, that's gonna be like 150. Yeah. I'm like, oh my god, if I get this, I'm gonna be up over 200. Can't do that this week.
Yep. Yeah.
And then I need 2 good Batman statues because I have the big guys from when BVS was released. You know, like the quarter scale.
Yeah.
I have those 2, and then I have something you might appreciate quite a bit. Just from when I was a kid.
Dude, he's all the way across the room. I have the same one, man.
Dude, that's awesome.
Actually, hang on. Let's put them on screen together so you can say hi to each other. One sec.
Oh, dude.
Crazy.
There he
Here we go.
is.
There we go. Right there, man. In the flesh.
Cheers him.
Or in the plastic, rather.
Right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's it, man. It's the one. This one,
Dude.
like, for some reason, well, it's actually not anymore. Actually, I think I washed it off. At some point, whenever, like, I pulled it out of the box, because a bunch of my collectibles and stuff were just in a box at my parents' house. And it was, like, sticky. It had just this film over it. But now that I think about it, I actually, like, took the time to, like, scrub it off with like a washcloth. So, oh, speaking of Keaton's Batman, I got this guy. I promise we can go. I found this.
You're good.
Little Batarang prop. And it comes on this stand. This little, sorry, it's all backward thing. And it kind of sits on there like that. But it's like magnetized on like hinges. So it like folds up and then like whips back out. And it's, pretty rad. It's like $13 at Walmart. So if you go to Walmart, if you got one around, you see if they'll hold one for you. But yeah, this thing is awesome. It's crazy. I'm still not used to the backwards camera thing, but yeah. And
it's all good.
In this killer box too.
Dude, that's awesome.
So the whole thing is a display stand. But anyway.
Dude, I was gonna say, now since we're doing a little show and tell here, what's awesome is I also have a Batarang. But funny story is my father-in-law is an engineer, used to work for Ford for a long time. He built a lot of like their computers and stuff. And was a lot of like did their troubleshooting and all that jazz. But he has a friend who has a 3D printer, and he made me 5 Dark Knight Batarangs, dude.
Oh, dude, that's killer.
Look at that. It's like, it's got the thickness. These things are sharp too, man.
Yeah,
like,
that's killer, dude.
But it's plastic. And dude, but the thing that I was talking with Tim about, because I showed him, awesome. I think when he was here, it just doesn't have, or I didn't show him, I think I talked to him about it, but like, I want, how you can get the replica BVS Batarangs? I want one of those, because that's my favorite part. One of my favorite parts of that fight scene, there are 2 favorites. When he throws the Batarang and you just hear the weight of it hit the guy. Boom, it's like, that's awesome, dude. Yeah. I love you could feel the weight to it. But the other part of that is when he's like fighting those 4 guys and he does like the double punch thing this way and then that way. And then he blocks the one guy, but then the guy has the knife and he like does the wrist thing, throws the knife in the ground and kicks the other guy. I'm like, that's awesome. How do you move like that in a suit like that?
No,
Richard Citrone.
I know, man. What was I think he was on like Holy Batcast, I want to say, and he was
at one point,
he was talking about literally that, like having to like move like that in the suit. He's like, the suit is literally fighting against you. It's like there's the muscle padding and stuff. It's like it's literally trying to stop you from moving, and you've got to like move past. And I was like, dude, that's crazy, man. It makes that scene even that much more impressive, man. It's crazy.
And dude, and knowing all the fight scenes that he's in throughout Snyder's cinematography is pretty awesome. Like, he's one of the main guys that fights Jor-El on Krypton.
Mm-hmm.
He's also
he's just as himself too. He's not even wearing like makeup or a mask or anything. It's just him.
He's Ozymandias, fighting the comedian in the beginning of the movie. Spoiler, sorry.
Man. I didn't know that. That's cool.
He is. So he's fighting Jeffrey Dean Morgan, which is awesome.
Okay. Or if I knew that, I forgot. But that's crazy. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, he's been in awesome stuff. So a little show and tell. Maybe we'll do some more show and tells when we get when we pop back on here again. But
we should.
We'll have to pick something else.
Next time I'll it's right here, but we'll save it. My Batfleck Barbie figure.
Dude.
We'll pull that out.
Dude, what about Spawn though?
Oh,
is he close? Is he close by?
Yeah. The video, the unboxing video, which is the longest one to date, is
oh, dude, don't show it. Actually, save it for the let's move that traffic to the unboxing.
That'll give me incentive to go ahead and post that to the Patreon, because it finally did upload to the YouTube channel. I just have to go to the Patreon and actually post the link. So it's right here, and I'll make sure that we don't post this until after. But so he's here. Dude, he's heavy as
sick.
Fuck too. I'm trying to get used to the thing. But okay, so you've got like the cape is like hinged.
But, that's awesome.
Let's get rid of some of that stuff. Okay, there we go. Yeah.
But the chains actually wiggle.
It's like, and it's actual like metal chains too. It's not like plastic. It's
That's
like,
sick.
let me hear that little thing.
Oh, dude. That's
So,
crazy, man.
Yeah, that one too. But this is like all rubber, so there's like articulation under there. Not much, but he kind of like bends around. But dude, this thing came in the box it came in. I like picked it up off the front porch. I was like, oh my God, this sucker's heavy. But yeah, it was crazy, man. It was
that's sick.
Worth the nearly year-long wait. And like it comes with a kickstand, but you don't really need it because the cape is like level with the feet, so it just kind of stands up by itself,
Dude,
which is awesome. So it's great, man. I like I've read a little bit of Spawn, not much, but I don't have any Spawn figures. I mostly have read like the Batman Spawn crossovers. But Scott, I think, is the one that sent us this link and was like, hey, or maybe he sent it to me. I don't know, but he's the one that sent it. And I was like, I can actually afford to do this right now. It was like $50 or something like that for just the basic figure. It's like, you know what? I'll get it. That's cool. And I'm glad I did. And now I need to like actually go back and read a bunch of Spawn. So,
dude, I have one volume of Spawn, I think. Yeah, right here. And I got it when we first moved to Pittsburgh, but I haven't read it in forever. And it's Origins Volume 1.
Is that like, so that's like the very, very first, like.
Very first one.
Cool.
Yeah, we got.
Because this figure came with like issue 1, like a reprint of issue 1, but it's like the director's cut. So it's like, it'll be like an issue of the comic, like in like black and white, and then like a page of like, you know, insight and notes and stuff, and then back to the comic. So it has it in there. It's just, yeah.
All right. I know that some people are going to freak out about the way I'm holding this book, myself included, but it's just, look at that, dude.
Dude, I love it, man.
That's so sick. I love the way he does capes. It's just.
That's killer, man.
What do we call it?
Like
cape porn.
I do. And like the figure itself, I can't get enough of that cape, dude.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Gnarly. I'm way down to do this at the end of every episode that we do for YouTube. A little collectibles or something like that. Whatever.
Dude, that's cool.
Anything, but
throw a little something in there.
Yeah, man.
Awesome,
but dude. All right.
Well, let's cheers and then let's call it. Cheers, buddy.
Ding. All right, buddy.
Awesome.
Peace.
See you later, guys.